Detroit Tigers, baby. This is the year. And as we dream with anticipation about the next time 1978 rolls around so we can bear witness to Alan Trammell's rookie season once more, our minds naturally drift to slaves and bulldozers, or as my great uncle Norman used to call it, Slavs and boll weevils. So that's what we're going to learn today. But first, I'd like to take just a moment to thank the following kind people for signing up for the Patreon supporter of the cause club: Cuba, Paul Cantrell, Terry Brow, Joe Tybalt, and Mr. or Mrs. Meet Here for the Tattoos. Thank you very, very much for your support. A little bit of the bone chipped off. This is a rib. And if you'd like to find out what that's all about, you will find the link in the description. Step one, of course, is put your bad self in drop D. Your low E string is going down 2 notes to D. We're still going to call it the E string, though, so we don't confuse it with this D string. Drop D. Then you give 2 chugs on the low 2-ish, 3-ish, 2-ish strings, open. Then D string 10th fret, followed immediately by the B string 13th fret. Give it a bend. Now we're reaching for G11. Use your middle finger because 11, 10, 11, 10, hammer on pull off, down to D12. This is Ryan from a couple of days later chiming in. Having listened again, this is fine. It's the right notes, but it's clearly a slide down to 7. So you slide down and arrive at 7 and then pluck once more. But either's fine. The second one begins exactly the same. But this time, and I can't tell if it's because it's a double track guitar or there's actually a trill here, but this is not about being perfect. So I'm going to try to do a trill, which is 2 notes back and forth just as quickly as you can. So I'm going to play my G11, and I'm going to go just a bunch of times, hammer on and pull off between 11 and 10, as many as you can while you still have time. Land on D12, but this time it's E13. So and there's, of course, lots of variations, little minute differences as the song goes on. So hunt around for some notes. This is not about being perfect. If you find something you like to throw in there, throw it in there. But that's the intro. Like, you know. Just went down on the G string. Or just bend some random notes. It's all great. For the verse, hit your chuggy strings again. Now, A string, 9, 8, 5, 4, 5, 8. And we hear that lead thing chime in every once in a while. It's the D string 12th fret, the B string 13th fret, the G string 11th fret. It's all the notes from the intro, right? And then 10. And I like to give licks names whenever they come to mind. I'm calling this Messed Up Sweet Child of Mine. And now I'd like to bring up a broader point about this song. Every single riff thus far has included this note and that note, or this note and that note. That's the same 2 sets of notes. It's F sharp and F in different octaves, and that is D's major and minor third. So it's like the D scale is having an identity crisis here. And there's a chord that goes right along with that theme. It's D7 sharp 9, and I even think I hear this in the song. Maybe it's Kim underneath Chris in the mix, or maybe I just want to hear it. But either way, here's D7 sharp 9, A5, D4, G5, and B6. And the reason I'm telling you all that is because if you want, you can go and slide right into D7 sharp 9. For fun and profit. Ooh, and when I think I hear the D7 sharp 9, that's towards the end of the song, but in the beginning of the song, Kim is chiming in at that moment with just an F power chord there on that A string 8th fret, so you can do that if you want. It would be, if you want to hit the whole chord there. And now we're to the chorus, which is drop D power chord, so the same fret in the low 3 strings, and we're going 10, 12, hammer on, then strum that 12 again, followed by 10, 12, hammer on, 12, 11, 10. So, second time is 10, 12, 12, just like before, but then it's 10, 12, 12, 15. Then it's 8, 10, 10, followed by just on the low, now D string, 0, 7, 6, 5, 0. Then it's 3, 5, 5, followed by one guitar goes 0, 3, before we repeat that section, and the other guitar goes power chord on the A string 5, 8. That's the same power chord, it's D and F, so you do whichever one you want. I think it's fun to go and then have that nice slide up back to 8, but you do you. So, 8, 10, 10, the run on the low string, 3, 5, 5, 0, 3, and you'll do that 3 times, but the third time you're not going to do the 0, 3. Instead, you're going to do this again into the next section. So that will be into the next section, which is going to be 5, 7, 7, 3 times, but between times number 2 and 3 there's an open. So it's going to be first time, second time, open third time, fourth time we're going to go 5, 7, hammer on, but we're not going to strum it one more time. Instead we're going to go 7, 6, 5, 0 on the low string. So that'll be, and here's what we've talked about so far. Once, twice, open 3 times, fourth time, and then you're down to 3, 5, 5 with the hammer on. A big long ring out, and I've been listening to isolated guitar tracks to figure all this out, and when you do that, you hear things that you didn't even know were there. There's 2 guitar parts here. One of them does the drop D power chords, 12, 11, 10, 7, 6, 5. The other one goes on the A string, 0, 5, 4, 3, 0, and then on the now low D string, 7, 6, 5, 0. And those are the same notes, and it's also fun because the open A string and now D string, 7th fret, are the same note A. So you do whichever one you want. Or for the chorus. And that brings us to the post-chorus breakdown. It's going to be 2 open chugs, followed by a lazy bend on the D string 2nd fret, then power chords 0, 5, 3, 0, and that same lazy bend. And the second one and the fourth one, every other one, is going to be our 2 open chugs, followed by trill action on D, 2 to open, then our power chords, 0, 5, 3, 0, and then we're going to give the A string 3rd fret a bendy wiggle, a wiggle. So, second one. And that's the breakdown. In the second intro, there's a move I thought that was worth mentioning. You can add this to your intro repertoire. This is all the same. But now it's going to be on the D string. 9, 10, 9, 7, 7. If you like. The next thing, the very last thing that's different is the section that comes right before the solo, and this is also the outro. It's the 10, 12, 12, 10, 12, 12, 11, 10, over and over again. And speaking of the solo section, it's this theme. And now I heard it. It's not D7 sharp 9. It could have been, but it's this. It's just like an A shape on D, G, B, 10, so you can add that if you want. That totally works. Or you could make that whole thing power chords. You could go O, 16, 15, then 12, 11, 12, 15. If you kind of wanted to make that a little heavier. That'd be fun. And those are all the pieces. That was a lot, so go use your earballs and figure out which one goes where when. In fact, I would categorize this as a level 9 doozatron, which means, friend, for making it to the end, you get treated to the sounding of the rubber chicken of you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that was fun and helpful, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye. Listen, as guitar players, we are always searching for that special tone that we hold in our mind's earballs. And I'm very excited to share with you the Guitar Pedals 101 course from Wampler Pedals. And it's probably not what you think. Rather than being about multitudinous arrays of pedals, it walks you through the various points in the signal chain from guitar to pickups to amp to cabinets that influence how pedals respond. And Brian Wampler illustrates his points and makes lots and lots of different tones with only 2 pedals. I took this course, I found it highly informative, so if you are on a lifelong mission for your tone, I encourage you to do the same, and it's only 20 bucks, so the first time you don't spend $200 on a pedal you don't even need and find the answer in some stuff you already have, or maybe get, sent off in a different, more helpful direction, you'll be totally glad you did. And the best part is you do not have to be an expert in these matters to gain from this Guitar Pedal 101 course from Wampler. It's for noobs, but there's also stuff for more experienced folks in there too. I owned 0 pedals 5 years ago, true story, and now Miss Poopadoop and I are obsessed. I wish I'd have found this course 4 3/4 years ago. It would have saved me a lot of brain power and energy. So check out the link in the description.